Good afternoon from yammybtv. Wishing you all well today. Sending loads of love as usual, and special love to all of you as well. I don't like to worry you lot sometimes, but I'm only human. I feel the same things that everybody else feels day in and day out, and I don't like my name getting mixed up in any bullshit. So what I'm about to tell you today, I've got to tell you because it comes from the bottom of my heart and the truth about that life. Because I can't come up here and tell you that after 40 years of institutions, since I was a small boy, I can't come up here and tell you that everything's all right. Mentally, every day, the trauma from that life. But it seems to me that there's 2 or 3 of you out there who come up here on your podcast every day, and then you're talking like you're like this and like this and like that. But Uncle Yammy has to tell everybody, there was me, sadly, that robbed you. You see? Because last year, I know what it feels like. I was walking Edge Road, I was drunk, I was going from side to side, and 3 or 4 boys, can't be more than 19, 20, had me in a drunk man image, like one hand this way, that, oh yeah, let's help you, sir. Went through my pockets, took the phone, took the cards, all them things. And I just had to stumble off, but I was hurt bad, being a victim. It's not nice, is it? I know. It's not nice. I felt bad. And when I got home, I told my ex-missus, Mel, I said, Mel, look, like, she didn't believe me. And then the police rang a few hours later. I said, yeah, are you living with, because we've got that address, Yammy, we've got his card and phone. So they got it back. So whatever happened, the CCTV, they got whatever. It's not my fault. I didn't expect that. But then she said, sorry. So I didn't believe you when he came through the door. But the reason for this video is I know what it feels like to be a victim. I know, man, my heart goes out to some of you in that life. You know, you think about it logically. You know, Tony Argent, you know, from John, Big John, and Eltel and Kenny and everybody that's ever been involved in that life will be able to tell you on the landings what it was really like. And some of you, you're coming up there, you're sending people to me, recording it, and telling them, yeah, Yammy said this and Yammy said that. Don't say I'm not how can I put it properly? The things that you talk about and you ask me, I'm so easy on the eye that you can come and talk to me and I'm going to be friendly and let you in for a little bit. But really, you're doing work for him and him and him to find out what am I saying. What I'm saying is then that everybody doesn't know, or a few people do know, in reality, that I went through your pockets in there. And sometimes we have to look back on that life when we're talking about stuff. Let's be real about this. You can't live that life and not have scars and traumas and everything about what happened in there. I can't be happy with myself because I know there's going to be some hatred for me from that life. But in the cold light of day, when you're going education, when you're going gym, when you're going church, when you're going all these places, you had to call me to escort you. Not you escorting me. I had to watch your back so that you pay me. Wasn't that? No, I don't want to worry my followers and think that I'm having a meltdown or anything like that, because it's not that. I just like to be honest and true with everybody. You know, you got the ego, you got the super ego, you got the 3 parts of the brain that make up your mechanisms for the life that you've led. And you know that the joke of the great Yammy B in that life in there. Not talking about that I was some hierarchy criminal out here, a gangster. Because I'm not a gangster. I was a one-man thing all the way through. So when Tony Argent used to say to me, Yammy, no, you got this thing twisted up. Because I'm thinking he's talking about the hardest man. Because you know and I know that Tony Argent, in my view, and Big John were the hardest men that I ever met. That's fact. And my nephew as well. In that way. Because I can only go by what I saw. But talking about me, they all do. They go, yeah, but Yams, it was that, it was this and that. But I don't get into all that kind of stuff and think that I was anything in that life. But I know what they mean. Because all they could do is lean over the landings and watch and see how the day unfolds with you in the centre of the wing going, you don't like it. I'm going to shout up and I'm going to say, yeah, all right, give 3 of them things there. And I'll come with it. Give me 2 of them things and I'm coming. Give me 1 of them things and I'm coming. Because you have to call me. Let's get this thing perfectly straight. Don't send people to me trying to be clever, trying to catch me out, whether Yammy's had a bit or he's been a bit funny. I can look the camera straight in the eye that I ain't committed no crime since I've been out. Can you? Can you, any of you? You've not been that particular, the 3 of you. Because if you don't watch careful with me, Uncle Yammy, I will belittle you and make you know how it felt for me when I got robbed. I didn't like it. I felt captured, a captive. I felt like all alone, and especially with the injuries. I didn't have no weapon or nothing. Not that I wanted to that way, but I know how it feels to be a victim. Understand yourself. I'm not going to say there's only one podcaster out there that's ever said what really is really like in jail for me, how it was in that life. You're talking about Hotel Kenny, doing all the big names that, supposedly so, that watched and watched and watched. Because the truth was, they don't really talk to anyone, really. Tony the same. Wasn't like that. But they'll tell you hand on heart. They would go like that. I take the oath that I saw everything that I needed to see. And that was me in that life. Not now, because I don't really care. I'm not interested in what I was or what he was or they was, because we all know that it was a load of shit. So you, when you're doing your thing, because don't think Uncle Yammy's silly. You see what I mean? Don't think, I'm not coming up here on no paranoid one, I'm coming up here to set the record straight, just in case they feel the need to ever come up and say, Uncle Yammy's going to make sure that you know that there's verification and witnesses to come and tell you that sadly, in that life, I was a bad man, horrible man. Very difficult being me sometimes, like it is for all of us. We all got our demons, and we all got what we think about ourselves and others and that kind of stuff. But all you get from me is the truth about that life. That's why I try to keep you lot in the light, away from it all. Because these lot, they just be finging round in the backgrounds, fiddling about their own stuff. But really and truly, I left it long time ago. So if ever you feel the need to call me, because none of you do, if ever you feel to, because I'm being played back recordings from your voices, but really and truly in that life, if it has to be said, if we're going to go on that what we know, the facts about inside there, you little small boy, you didn't have nowhere to run. You needed me. You had to come and get me. You had to come and call me. You had to go, Yammy here. That's how the game worked. So I won't belittle you on that, because I'm a front line troop in that life, because I don't care that much about myself and what happens to me and how, I have to accept that I was a vulnerable man, really and truly, like the rest of you, but you don't like to admit it. That's the facts. But anyway, I'm just letting you know that I'm all right. I'm just sending out giving a couple of little digs here and there. Go away from me. Or try it with me. Don't ever do that, because we know the truth and we can expose it. So I don't do all that on yammybtv. What I do know is I let my loyal followers, and they're my friends, all of them. 5,000 of them are my friends, not followers. I don't go and like I'm some kind of celebrity out there and it's not Uncle Yammy's way. I don't want nothing from my past about stealing off people and putting guns in their faces and robbing everybody and going and thinking it was anything in that life. I was a sad man, a sad figure who didn't want to live. But you lot come to terms with who you are. Let's get the story straight. I like this hat. Lisa gave me this. And now, I love you, Lisa. But no, truthfully, you're up there telling everybody this and that, when in reality, you wasn't nothing. Nothing to boast about, nothing to sing praise about, nothing to think. All we know is that in there, I talk about, because I never spent much time out here. That's all I like to do, is just set the record straight. So I dare you to come and say anything to Uncle Yammy. I know it'd be too. I don't know, because you don't get upset. And true, you make me laugh. Don't worry, Daniel. Everything's cool. But in reality, when people go to shows and say, yeah, yeah. But in reality, I understand now what they mean. Because I don't mean it that way. Because, I'm just happy-go-lucky. Leave me alone. Don't get me involved in all that, all your political stuff out here. Because I'm not on that road no more. But I can't come up here and tell my followers that the game's won after 40 years of institutions, really and truly. You know what? I can never be well again in that way. Many are out here now that have done life sentences, and I talk to every day, and they're struggling day by day with who they are and what they're meant to be and what it all means. Because you have to deal with these catastrophic things like bereavement relationships and things out here, different from prison when you're closed off. It's a very, very, very closed environment. When the door slams, you're going to lie down, you're going to think, oh, shit, man. I wish I was out there. You know what I mean? The reality of it all, what if I didn't? If I could have just taken that back? It is if, buts, and maybes. Whatever sense you make of it all, when you're doing 10, 20, 15, 25 behind the door, you're going to be lying down at night and you're going to be all what you believed about that game and that life. You're going to begin to be unsure of it. You think about it. Uncle Yammy will bring the facts to the table and print it out for you. Leave it there so that you fully understand about that life. Because I was the one that lived it, and I was with whoever was anybody in that life over that 43 years, from east, north, south, Manchester, Liverpool, Newcastle, Birmingham, Leeds, Liverpool, everywhere, Manchester. Think about it. There's no one I never met, really, if you think about it. And my friend, you asked me yesterday about the Wayne Aaron story. I'm going to come and do a little small bit on him soon. All right, my boy. But yeah, Uncle Yummy's all right. Don't worry about too much about things. But when you get messages and recordings and that kind of stuff, really silly stuff that doesn't do anything for anybody. But if you want to play that game with me, I will come up here and remind everybody that it was you free that I went through your pockets too. It doesn't feel good, does it? Because when it happened to me, I didn't like it as well. But sadly, it was that life, innit? I'll be up in a minute. Sending loads of love.